not a one-sided game. And yeah, you're gonna hear every caster say that, but there's something about these two and them playing a close match and what it means for the rest of global.
The Matilda.
Ooh.
I think Matilda still has to be respected.
Rush it now. Oh no, they run to Bruno. They want to immediately put it in the hands of Saano. That is, well, ballsy.
Look at the smile on Benny's face.
It's like,
It's like that, huh?
they took my hero, bro.
I see you. But at this point, I think that Falcons can start threatening the positions, right? Because, right, if we're thinking about Bruno, what is more dangerous, a Purify Bruno or a Flicker Bruno? And most would say the Flicker, and I would have to agree. I want to see something that's going to force him to take that Purify, and having, and initially, the Fulvius makes sense, I guess, but at least the Vexana gives him a reason to do so.
Yeah, the Fulvius pick to me is quite interesting because with the Bruno already, that you say, okay, I want to play Fulvius, even though I already know that you have the right marksman to deal with it. So hopefully they still round that out. They need another tanky frontliner. It cannot be utility. Weirdly enough now, because of the Matilda on the other side, Falcon might actually have to accept the fact that they need a lineup that can thrive in longer team fights because of the shields of the Matilda.
Wow.
Oh, but they go for wombo combo for the first 3.
Honestly, it's such an honest draft coming in for Falcon. No
Yeah.
fights, nothing. They're just gonna say, hey, we want a team fight. We want to make sure that Fulvius is in front, and if anything goes wrong, we got Tigreal in the back to turn it around.
Yeah. Even though the Twisted Minds lineup is still also quite honest, there's a little bit more of trickery involved with who gets the guiding win. But as far as we know, it's Matilda supplementing the Alpha.
Yep. And the 50-50, I think the fact that Coach Lyric and Coach Daliot confirmed their jungler, they understood that whatever Dax picks up, the Matilda and the Alpha should be able to deal with.
Yeah.
So, weirdly enough, the Suyo is still open. The Pain yesterday is still open.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Wait, so now I have a question that I just realized. If you're Falcon, would you consider banning out something like the Aurora? Because I feel like a Twisted Minds having Aurora with them, with the take Vex and even the Fulvius, the Aurora might actually thrive against those heroes.
Actually, 2 picks that I'm interested in seeing. Whether or not the Valentina is going to be thought of at all, or at minimum, at a bare minimum, get rid of that glue. Because again, that's the only thing that's going to be able to take care of this Fulvius in lane and have some form of hard control against their opponents.
Yep. Also safety if ever they are telegraphing the Bane. Do you want things that allow for the Bane to just roughshot hit the CCC in the back?
Yep.
I wonder though, if Falcon open up the glue, maybe they're thinking that we have a Sana in a way who's gonna have like he's gonna have the lightning truncheon. You can kill the mini gluelets real quick, and at the same time that magnifies the resonant damage that pops off. And if anyone's very close to that glue, then it's actually not gonna be good for Twisted Minds. Might be the bait that they're trying to set up. Aurora. So yeah, Falcon ends up respecting it. What's the Valentina maybe for Twisted Minds as you mentioned earlier?
Possibly. It's right now, there's only 2 valuable alts at this point. One of them puts you in a lot of danger. The other needs an enabler. And the only other enabler that you got right now is Matilda, which is a little unreliable most of the time. Or you can really depend on that Alpha, right? But it's more of a counter-engage tool more so than to extend your lead. Yeah. So at this point, I think that Twisted Minds, it's smart that they're getting rid of at least the Beatrix at this point of time to make sure that that lane is even harder for the side of Falcons. And getting rid of the Nolan to make sure that the pace is going to be kept at a pretty standard rate.
Alright, so they take away the burst, the Suyo will be active, so that might end up becoming the jungle trade. The aforementioned Bane, I think for whatever, I think, yeah,
Bane is
they
so
might actually
good
be okay, yeah.
If they pick up the Bane, it's gotta be in red 5.
Yeah,
My imaginary world.
so yeah, I'm sure that's not Bane. Okay, so it's gonna be a 1-1. Getting picked up, which up against a Bruno, I feel like that might not be the best.
Yeah, no, but I think that's Coach RC and Coach Nyo Chao's way of saying, you know what? Benny, just get in his face. The Bruno needs time. The Bruno needs like at least a power spike. But the 1-1 plus a Vexana visit, like that should be enough.
I don't know about this.
You're forcing Troll to babysit Sana.
How much of a babysit? I mean, I think it really just boils down to how does that lane actually go? And I think that Wan doesn't actually do that well unless you're able to like consistently hit 2 weakness points on your trade and then move back before the second auto comes through. Oh, that's actually such a good idea coming in from Twisted. I like the Sicilian here, but the Edith especially a great way to say, hey, it doesn't matter what happens in my lane. If Wan gets a little too close to me, if I get locked down, it doesn't matter. I'm able to slow down the pace of the game to create opportunities for both my Alpha and Sicilian.
And Hayabusa is the assassin pick for Falcon. There are the cores, the main carries, I feel like.
Drafts. Ingon, what do you think here as we get a last look of them?
Now looking at the lineup of Twisted Minds, talk of because you know that the Spear of Alpha normally used to initiate or to escape. But with the presence of the Guiding Wind and Circling Eagle, there are a lot of possibilities, a lot of combinations that Twisted Mind can do with his current composition.
We'll see if this time around, as we jump into the Land of Dawn in this best of 1, if Falcon Esports can soar high once again, or has Twisted Minds brought genius to this best of 1. Both of them with surprises yesterday, and now unfortunately after this one of them is going to experience their loss. But with that being said, again, both lineups look really good. The thing that sticks out to me too, I mean, You know, I've spent some time over in the MENA region recently, and they love this pick, man. They love the Sicilian. They love to get this hero, build up on it, get the stacks that you need. And it's almost in a way, you know, this kind of late game composition card up your sleeve. If it's not handled, then the game doesn't end soon enough. So work has to be done here for Falcon Esports, and really looking at the emblems too. You know, you're going to be going with the speed again. I'm surprised still. Like Leo mentioned, the Matilda is being let through. It's being picked up. But then, of course, you know, Falcon Esports did get a great roam option themselves. I think both roamers are going to be very crucial to allowing the team to get the upper hand to start off with. But this is the combo that we see so often, man. You know, the Matilda and the Alpha, able to just move around the map really well.
Yeah, again, the presence of the guiding wind ensures that Alpha can just go in at any given moment, especially for the neutral objectives. And if the Spear of Alpha doesn't connect, there's always an exit route for Twisted Minds. And looking at the emblem set of Sano, he does have, again, the Master Assassin. So in terms of dominating the laning phase, he's confident enough to do this up against Benny. But look, Falcons Esports, speaking of confidence, they go in and bring down Sanji, forcing Twisted Minds to react. But the damage is not going to be enough. Hidex goes in, once again with the Sacred Hammer, just to bring down Hoda. And Naisu, did you expect this early aggression from Falcon Esports?
You know what? I did, because both these teams love to play this style, you know, and if they can get that going, Cuffin might be trying to make a play here. PX7, oh, he's gonna get one shot down. So a good pickup kill. Twisted Minds will get that one. I'm surprised, you know? And against all that too, Falcon Esports will get that first turtle secured by Dax.
Yeah, and for Twisted Minds, you know, they have the late game insurance again with the Sicilian, but the thing is, you don't have to wait for the late game for the Sicilian to get its power spike. We've seen a lot of Sicilians activate at 10 minutes in, 11 minutes in, assuming that Twisted Minds will play this to perfection. But the problem is Falcon Esports, they know this also, so that's why, as much as possible, they're trying to speed things up. They're trying to catch Twisted Minds off guard. They're trying to twist their minds.
They're trying to, yeah, you know, at that point, that might be the play for them. But look at the thing about it too is with Falcon Esports starting with the momentum that we saw earlier on. Again, that's what they have to do. You know, they have to be able to get the foot going because they're playing against the mobility that Twisted Minds has. But also, in a way, it's like a ticking clock for them because of the fact that you have the Sicilian here. And the fact, too, that Cuffin just got an early kill, giving him that little advantage to build up a little bit faster, get the items that he needs a little bit faster. He'll play into that, right? And part of it might be, all right, can we catch him? Can we catch Cuffin down? Because we do want to be able to deal with him. And the fact that he has a Purify, but he can also rely on Matilda to be there for Troll to just pull him out of danger is what's going to be difficult for Falcon Esports to pull off. And again, that's why the fact that you know, they have this Tigreal here, they have the Eternal Guard that they can rely on too for a little bit more crowd control. And you know, like Gideon was mentioning, Benny in the Wanwan against this gold lane matchup. Again, this is the top performing gold lane hero right now, this Bruno. And it's going to be a mainstay for probably the entirety of the tournament. You know, Wanwan in that matchup, you probably need a little bit more care. You probably need a little bit more safety in your lane and play the safe route if you can. You could get aggressive against the Bruno, but you also don't want to be caught out because you don't have those get away from get out of jail free cards like you do with Twisted Minds. So Dax will go ahead and get a position here. Turtle is up. We'll see if they're able to secure it. They do have a minor lead too. Twisted Minds, they know they have the mobility. They know they have the utility. Sanji's gonna jump in, finds three.
Finds three, but answers right back with Implosion for Kid X. Trying to bring down Sanji, and the first man down is Kid X for a Twisted Minds. They answer right back to bring down Sanji as well, but look at Royal Milk into the midst of everything, up against 4, just trying to zone out Twisted Minds for Falcon Esports to trade for that turtle. But the problem is Hoda is here, but Dax will still get the turtle, plus the kill onto Hoda.
Royal Milk's job the whole time was, guys, just look at me. I'm here, I'm in the air, focus on me. He distracted, oh, Dax.
Oh, Dax goes in with a shadow. Is it gonna be enough? Oh, here comes the circling eagle, but he's gonna be alone. There's the stun and the kill for Troll, making things work for Twisted Minds, and that is a huge trade for them as Cuffin goes in with a Sanguine Claws to get a shutdown onto Benny. And
That troll had wings, singing.
yeah, literally, man.
He had wings, he was flying, and I could hear Leo shout "Kaka" over there. But man, I'll tell you what a play and an answer from Twisted Minds. A lot of back and forth, and you asked me earlier, this is exactly what I expected with these two teams. Their play styles, the region themselves love to play like this. Kid X taking a couple shots, and you know, he's gonna have to go heal back up, but ultimately it was a great turtle taking objective. You got to keep that in mind. You know, Falcon Esports has those two turtles in their favor, and it was a great distraction from Royal Milk, but there's still that fighting power coming out from Twisted Minds.
And the thing is, this is their actual play style. They're methodical. They like to go for those big team fights. And if ever they're getting pushed, they're going to try and manage to find the trade as much as possible. And so far, they're doing that successfully. Even down to the drafting phase, they've done it methodically thanks to the help of Coach Lyric. I mean, getting Bruno out of Benny's hands is in fact amazing. And plus the Mathilda and Alpha combination that you can clearly see is working for them. But I do have to commend Cuffin. Cuffin has been, you know, Twisted Minds' scapegoat, because the first kill of Twisted Minds, it came from Cuffin down to the bottom lane, and now the follow-up onto the top lane to even out the score to 5-5 and try to diminish as much as possible Falcon Esports' lead.
The lead right now, very, very little minor lead. But at this point, if they get this third turtle, if they lock it in 3 for 3, that's going to be great for them leading into that first Lord. Twisted Minds, though, you can't count them out. You know, it's relatively an even ball game at this point. Either team could secure this objective and even secure a devastating team fight. They're going to jump in.
Implosion going to catch two, but the counter-attack is there for Twisted Minds, as Dax will get the turtle, plus the kill onto Sanji and to Soda. And now Falcon Esports, that was a heads-up play coming in from Kid X. Despite the counter-initiation that Twisted Minds wanted to do, they got the proper targets during that time. And now they have a 2.2k gold lead with the third turtle. Might even get a hold on this mid lane turret. And Falcon Esports, this time they made sure Twisted Minds doesn't have a trade.
That's what I said. You know, both roamers going to be crucial in both the teams here. Their success in this matchup. That time around, Kid X with a massive implosion, able to find the right targets exactly where they need to. And, you know, you only got a couple purifies. You have some of the flickers to be defensive with it. But, you know, if you get caught out in that implosion, you're most likely going to just go down and be dead, because Falcon Esports lineup, too, very front-loaded with damage if they're able to go ahead and find those kind of setups. And so Twisted Minds will find themselves on the back foot a little bit. Again, they're still able to kind of find wins around the map if they can, but they're going to kind of be forced to also be together, you know, travel around wherever Troll is going, try to stay in that safe area with them as a team, essentially, because they can't get caught out from Falcon Esports. And anytime that flicker is going to be available for Kid X, you know that he's probably going to go for that set. So Ingon, before this first Lord comes up here, how does Twisted Minds kind of get in position to secure themselves this next objective?
I think it's going to be hard for them to contest. Again, they have the late game insurance in Cuffin with this Sicilian. In any given moment, if this Sicilian pops off, they can actually turn things around and extend the game. But that's the thing, they have to extend the game up against a very aggressive team like Falcon Esports. Here comes Kid X once again, gonna catch Hoda, gonna commit the implosion as well, plus the internal guard just to bring down the jungler. But Twisted Minds wants to go for the fight. They're gonna bring down Royal Milk, but look at Benny picking up a kill for himself, gonna bring down Troll as well. And Falcon Esports, that's a trade again. They're willing to take a jungler, a roamer.
Talk about perfect timing. You find the jungler, you find the roamer, and Lord comes up. It's free pickings at this point for Falcon Esports. They're going to secure this one. And that's what I was saying. The damage is so front-loaded that if Kid X is just like, guys, I got it. Here's the implosion. Boom comes the Eternal Guard, and then a kill to follow. So Falcon Esports' lineup that they brought to this game is just phenomenal. And Benny, honestly, Benny hasn't had to do too much. You know, he's able to just go ahead and farm up what he needs to do. He hasn't really had that moment where he's doing this game, you know, team fight winning crossbow of Tang, because so far they haven't needed it.
Yeah.
And Dax alone too, the fact that he is on this Warcry emblem, you know, Hayabusa, that's what I'm saying. Once he just goes and gets those stacks off and then pops the shadow kill, like, someone's gonna go down in that exchange. Now they're gonna go ahead and manage these waves as they get ready to knock on the base of Twisted Minds. They still hold on to a couple tier 2 turrets, actually all of them. That bottom one nearly gone, and it is gonna go away once this Lord pushes down. Now the mid and top focused on 2. I'm wondering, I'm trying to look at Twisted Minds' potential to defend in the base here. anytime you have a Sicilian, your base defense is pretty good. You
Yeah.
know, especially depending on how many stacks you have. But still, they got to rely on being able to clear this out. It's not a game-winning Lord push. It shouldn't be unless they just get dismantled in the base. So they've got to manage this appropriately. Sanchi will take a couple shots. The shields are going to go down as all 3 holy defenses are popped. Sano finally gets the Malefic Gun though too, but they are ultimately able to defend and keep things together.
That's the discipline instilled for Falcon Esports. They know that in order to maximize the First Lord as much as possible, they're not trying to take down an inhibitor because it's almost impossible going up against a lineup up against a Sicilian. So right now, their goal was just to, as much as possible, maximize the Lord, pop the Holy Shields, and at the same time, don't give Twisted Minds, you know, a trade for them to bank on, for them to help extend the lead and eventually enable Coffin, enable Saano. So Falcon Esports, they're going to play the waiting game. They're going to do this by the book as much as possible. Wait for the next Lord. Try to get pickoffs, especially with Gidex. Try to activate Benny as much as possible as well. So let's see how Twisted Minds will react this time.
This is a little risky right here. Dax jumping in.
Wiggy Shadow Kill onto Coffin, but Troll here to save him, and now Twisted Minds are forced. They're just forced to stay inside their base because of the initiations that Falcon Esports can do. It's not just even Kid X's implosion, just merely the fact that Wiggy Shadow Kill coming in from Dax can do the job to bring down either Coffin or Saano at this point in the game.
That's the thing, man. He's got Hunter Strike, he's got BOD, he's got Endless Battle, you know, and as the time goes on, that Wiggy Shadow Kill will actually probably kill Coffin the next time around unless they're able to go ahead and defend against it. So more so a limit test, but also, meanwhile, like I said earlier, Benny hasn't really had his moment just yet. You know, he's able to provide a little bit of damage, but now that he's got the items that he needs, he's got Corrosive Scythe, DHS, hold on top side.
Very aggressive play, bringing a Soda with him as
There's
well,
Benny.
but Benny, will he be able to cross the crossbow? Yes, indeed! Paired up with Implosion, coming in from Kid X, gonna bring down 2. The next target is Sanji, gonna fall down in the hands of Benny, and as you were saying, we haven't seen Benny popped off Naisu. This is how you do it with the 1-1. Now they're as aggressive as possible, gonna bring down Inhibitor. Internal Guard to zone out Saano, and Falcon Esports, they didn't even have to wait for that Lord. They were able to use the aggression of Twisted Minds to their advantage. And now it's just 7.9k gold lead for Falcon Esports.
As I was just saying, you know, Benny hasn't had his moment just yet. Well, there you go. He got the triple. He made that team fight go in their favor. But you're seeing it. I know they just got the Lord here. They have a massive lead, 8,000 gold ahead. But like we saw just briefly ago, that's a what, 180 plus stacks that Coffin has right now. Looking at the replay here, you know, brought to us by Kadia, this is actually insane. The setup potential in the top lane went really well for Benny. The timing of it all comes together, and this is, I'm not sure if we get it more in the replay, but you actually see the damage potential coming out from Coffin. And again, this Lord is going to be pushing in, but they do have a great lineup to go ahead and try to defend. They have to avoid Kid X. He doesn't have the flicker this time, but the base turrets are going to be worked on, and now the Lord comes up on the top side. They're going to jump in and focus on these base turrets, trying to expose the base the best they can, but look at the clear speed that I'm talking about. Coffin clearing things out alone just with those bad impacts. Here's the conceal.
Okay, they're going to try and go for a pick-off here as they destroy the mid lane turret. 1 base turret left for Twisted Minds. Falcon Esports still hasn't committed anything yet, but Sanji goes in with the Earth Shatter, casting the Primal Wrath as well, but the counter attack coming in from Falcon Esports is just too much. Uigi Shadow Kill paired up with every single damage Falcon can bring will take down Hoda and Sanji, but Royal Milk a bit too over-aggressive there, but Falcon Esports, they got what they wanted. All base turrets are now taken down, and the lead has now gone to 10k for Falcon.
Took a mouthful of bats, man, and that's what I'm talking about. As long as Coffin is fine, you're clear and your defense strengths are going to be there for Twisted Minds. Now, how many times can they do that? We're reaching the point of 15 minutes in the game. He's definitely got more stacks than the 180 we talked about earlier, but that's the thing too. Even the items are being locked in. You know, he's got that Wishing Lantern too, Lightning Truncheon, Glowing Wand. He's where he needs to be, and as long as he is safe in the back line, and if Falcon Esports isn't able to catch Coffin out, then that's great for Twisted Minds. But that's also the double-edged sword to it, you know? Here we go, 269 stacks, 271. He's stacked up, he's feeling good. And so that's the thing, of Falcon Esports, if they do get rid of Coffin, that's the double-edged sword to it. They lose a ton of damage for Twisted Mind's lineup.
Yeah, and Coffin right now, they're even giving the Sicilian the purple buff, so expect a lot coming in from this mid laner. And the thing is, if they overcommit a lot of ultimates, a lot of battle spells just to take down Coffin, there's also the Saano problem, the Bruno problem that Falcon Esports has to prioritize later on. But so far, so good for Falcon Esports. A 9K Goldie, they're just gonna wait. They're just gonna wait for this Lord once again, or they can pull off another amazing play up top, like what they did when they used the overaggression of Twisted Minds to their advantage. The circling Eagle Flicker combination just to try and bring down Benny. But the problem is, Falcon Esports was able to turn things around.
I wonder if that's the play here. You know, that's the IQ play from Twisted Minds. Guys, just give up the Lord. Let's just rely and just put all of our hope in Coffin, but it looks like they actually want to go for this, but they're too late.
Okay, Falcon Esports get the Lord. Implosion once again coming in from Kid. That's going to catch Sanji, and that's all the way to the back line. Trying to go for the flank, but Sanji with the Primal Round is able to stay alive. Here comes a Winter Playground for Twisted Minds, but the damage coming in from Falcon Esports just too much. Royal Milk once again will be the sacrificial lamb in exchange for Hoda, and a very, very favorable trade once again for Falcon Esports.
Oh, Troll going for it. They want to delay the recall from Falcon Esports, but Twisted Minds, they lose Hoda, but they're still in the game. Cuffin's going to be fine. He's going to clear out this mid lane. Lord is pushing down that, so they're going to try to stall it out the best they can. But the fact that Falcon Esports doesn't have Royal Milk, it's a little tough.
Dax.
Oh! What?
Gets deleted by Twisted Minds. I just said a while ago, Falcon Esports had a favorable trade. Now it's not. They still haven't solved the problem of how to get Coffin. I mean, Dax tried to go with a weak shadow kill, but the problem was it got instantaneously bursted down by Saano and the rest of Twisted Minds. And this might be the opening as Kid X already commits his implosion. Oh, this might be a green light for Twisted Minds, but Benny wants to answer right back though. The stacks aren't there yet, and Falcon Esports lead slowly diminishing.
Oh man, I just, you know, if Twisted Minds just continues to do this, stack up and punish Falcon Esports, I mean, think about how much gold they just got, by the way, with what they did. Yeah, about 4,000 or 5,000 gold. And yes, all the base turrets are down, but you've seen this before. You can actually defend this type of game with this kind of lineup, keep things together. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get in a position to actually contest a Lord, but if they do, because they showed signs, they kind of showed interest in doing it the last one, they were just a little bit too late because they got to manage these waves pushing in. But if they actually get into a position where, again, a one bat impact is taking down, what, half your health bars from Falcon Esports, it's going to make you think twice. Especially the fact that then you consider the two junglers and, you know, Dax, he just got checked, man. That was literally a punch in the face. Looks like, again, they're just going to have to manage the waves while they wait for this Lord.
Who got the purple buff? Was it Dax?
Dax and PX7 both have purple, so it was stolen. But again, this is expected from Twisted Minds. You really aren't going to have that much space to work with in your jungle.
Okay. So now Twisted Minds, again, the question is, will they contest? As you mentioned, they have the capabilities to do so. A good Spear of Alpha, Circling Eagle, Guiding Wind combination, and just back away. If they don't manage to out-retreat, Falcon Esports might do the job, but considering that they have a Sicilian, they can actually just try and defend this once again. Just try to avoid Kid X's implosion flicker play.
This is where it comes in clutch, too. The fact that they got 3 Winter's Crowns. You got an Immortality for Sanji, and then, of course, you got the Wind of Nature for Sano. So they have so much utility, so much defensiveness that they can rely on. Falcon Esports, given the lead that they have, it's more so of how do they approach the fight? How do you solve the puzzle of what Twisted Minds is bringing with a lineup? And again, part of that is taking control of this Lord, starting it up. You have those waves pushing in on all 3 lanes. And Twisted Minds might make the decision again to just go ahead and wait in the base, but they get close enough.
Okay, Troll has the flicker. Here comes KDX with the implosion play. A lot of members from Falcon Esports will get knocked up, but Dax will still get the Lord as Hoda will fall down as well. Skill 3 coming in from Sano. They're trying to fight back. They're going to bring down 3. 2 members left from Falcon Esports as they take down Benny as well. Plus KDX. PX7 is left to fend for themselves. They have a lot of turrets in the middle lane, but Twisted Minds, they have 3 members ready to end the game.
Right now, they're going to march down mid lane. They have to deal with the Lord. It's quite a beefy Lord as you see that shot that Sano takes. But they'll handle it well. PX7 also trying to not just let him take it. Oh, PX7 in trouble. Won't be able to get away as Sano picks up the kill.
But that might be enough time ball for Falcon Esports because in 12 seconds, Dax will stay alive. A Royal Milk will also respawn. But Twisted Minds at this point of the game, you'd be happy with whatever you get. And in that point, they got 4 kills. Even if Falcon Esports got the Lord, that was the risk that they were willing to take to extend the game. And on top of that, Sano remains deathless. Coppin remains deathless, still has the Purify, I believe still has the Winter Crown. So Twisted Minds can engage once again up against Falcon Esports.
We're back to where we started, Ingan. You know, 21 minutes in, it's the stalemate. But hey, Twisted Minds has been doing work. And that is, again, now we find ourselves, you know, swapping some items in and out. That's a Holy Crystal picked up by Cuffin. And, you know, a lot of the Winter Crowns were burned up earlier on by both sides, I would say. So for this point of the game, comes down to it. Sanji goes in.
With the Urge Shatter Flicker combination, but the crossbow of time will be casted as well. Primal Wrath just to evade that. Look at the Spear of Alpha coming in from Hoda, but the KDX with the implosion gonna be taken down by Cuffy with a Bat's Impact. That's 1 member down once again. Falcon Esports, they had a lot of opportunities to end the game, but Twisted Minds just staying on the defense with Cuffin, with Sano. No casualties for Twisted Minds.
This is what we expected with 2 teams who just shocked the world watching yesterday in day 1 of the Swiss stage, and now here we are, 485 stacks. This guy is built. He's built diff at this point, Ingan.
He's geared up. He's ready to fight. 1 Bat's Impact might be enough to take down half the squad of Falcon Esports. So right now, Falcon is resulting to the macro game. They want to try and create split pushes from the opposite lanes. They want to try and control where Twisted Minds can go and get an advantage once again to try and take the Lord away from them. But Twisted Minds at this point, like, they're geared up, as you mentioned. They can take down, they can go all in at any given moment.
The part of this is still the fact that managing your waves. You know, for Twisted Minds, they have the Lord this time spawning up there on the top side. I wouldn't be surprised too if Falcon Esports takes a different approach to things. You know, like plays the long side of the lane, puts pressure there for a response from Twisted Minds. It looks like that's the idea. So this is where, you know, the adjustments, the game knowledge, and how you handle this macro decision is going to come into play. That bottom wave pushing in a little bit slightly. Kid X still there on the bottom side too. Benny waiting patiently, and Royal Milk will start to give some of the information. It looks like Twisted Minds will rotate on up. You got 4 Winter Crowns now, plus that Immortality over there. Still the win in nature here. Persano picks up the potion too, and Cuffin, his job with the purple buff is to clear out these waves the best he can.
It's really gonna boil down to this potential last Lord. Falcon Esports have secured 4 Lords for themselves, but the problem is they cannot fully utilize it because bodies from their side are slowly taken down by Twisted Minds. So if you're Falcon Esports, do you try and bait out the Lord? Do you try and... what do you do? Since you can't go to the backline, since you can't reach Cuffin, especially with the presence of Troll, who is on point, by the way, with how he's playing this Mathilda, because so far his damage dealers are yet to be taken down.
Well, look at this. They're actually going to be the ones to start it up. Hoda can't just hold it together, though, because he takes shots from PX7, but also from the Lord. Benny on the bottom side. It's going to clear that wave out. Cuffin is still there, so we should be able to manage it. Lord's at half health. Might find themselves in a position where it has to be given up. Royal Milk still has that Immortality, sitting at half health himself. Here we go. Kid X might be looking for a setup himself with the implosion.
Might be goes in with Spirit of Alpha, but Troll gets the Lord away from Falcon Esports, and now they're mad. They want to go for bodies, taking down Troll as well. Sanji might be able to survive this, but Benny takes him down, but they manage to take down Benny as well. A 3-for-1 trade for Falcon Esports, but Twisted Mind, they still have Cuffin, they still have Sano, and they got the Lord. Is this defable still for Twisted Minds?
It is. I mean, the fact that they have this Lord and the waves are going to be pushing in. I can't believe Troll got that, but Wow, Falcon Esports, they're going to be the ones to deal with this. Sano and Cuffin chasing off PX7 and Kid X. Not the positioning you're looking for here. They're going to wait a little bit longer for the rest of the team to come up. Whoa! Kid X!
Okay, Kid X still has his immortality, hasn't been popped up yet. But that's scary. One catch from Cuffin and Sano can do the job to bring down Falcon Esports. Now their Lord is still up. 9 seconds before Troll respawns once again. But we have to commend what this Mathilda has been doing. Saving Sano, saving Cuffin from harm's way, getting and stealing the Lord away from Falcon Esports, keeping the hopes and dreams of Twisted Mind still alive.
Oh, Sano.
Oh, they're trying to go for Sano, though. He still has his immortality. But the back and back, and Sacrament Claws just too much to handle. Look at the shield Sano is getting. Here comes Ego. The counterattack coming in from Twisted Minds, just really bringing the damage onto Falcon Esports. That's 2 members down. And Twisted Minds, they have the chance to end this right away.
Still going to be putting the pressure there. Finally, on this side of the map, Twisted Minds, they've done work. They've stayed disciplined. They stayed consistent, and now they're knocking on the base turrets of Falcon Esports. So it's 3 members still. Quite long death timers here for Falcon Esports to deal with. You saw how much utility is thrown at them, and right now, Twisted Minds in the base.
So Soda goes in with Spear of Alpha. Still no ultimates from Kid X, though. Are they going to be able to defend this? Here comes the implosion, connecting onto 3, but Troll onto the backline. PX7's immortality will be popped. Look at the damage coming in for the fast impact. Soda is going to fall down as well. Crossbow Fang is there for the Winter Crown. Will disable the ultimate. 2 members from Falcon Esports left to defend. Twisted Minds, they still don't have minions. Minions in the middle lane approaching. This is risky.
This is so risky.
Okay, back gonna connect onto PX7, gonna bring him down, and Twisted Minds, the rising region of Mena, the future looks to be now.
What a comeback from Twisted Minds. Off of the fact that you have, I don't even know how many stacks Cuffin had, but man.
Too much.
Too many. Not enough. Whatever it was, we knew this pick was something that this region loves, and Twisted Minds comes out with a victory. After repeated defenses, they keep it together, and after a Lord take from Troll, they take this and they get the victory. Definitely an amazing game, an amazing just show of strength from Twisted Minds. And the mind behind them, too. Big shout out to Coach Lyric. But our panelists, let's hear what they have on their mind about this game.
Dax even ended up dying in the middle of that fight, too.
Yeah, I think that
Bruno plays just, I mean, he was even item swapping in the middle of those fights. And honestly, he could have been like 6-1 there had he not been saved by both Troll and his item swap.
As we look at the MVP highlights now, it was very important that the Bruno and the Sicilian survived the major engagements. The fact that he was able to hold on to the Purify as long as possible in some key engagements and making the most out of the sliding tackle. As we were talking, actually, I started realizing, wait, I'm hearing sliding tackle a lot more from these two behind the scenes. And yeah, that's because Sano made the most out of it.
And that's the way you should be playing, right? I mean, just look at the way that he's positioning himself. He wants to be able to be close enough to Troll in case he gets tries to get bursted down by PX7, but he doesn't want to stand too close to specifically Cuffin so that both of them don't get caught by that Tigreal. Like, again, you can see that even Sano realizes, wait a minute, as long as I don't get one shot, I could easily just 100 to 0 people in less than a second.
And he can 0 to 100 himself. He's still rocking the Haas claws up until the very last moments.
The beauty of it.
That was the best highlight for that point, honestly. The fact that you already got bursted down, or you knew you were about to get bursted down, and Sano just said, go ahead, give me your best. And he survived, and he sliding tackled forward, took down PX7, and then eventually